I don't think you saw, there was a recent podcast with the former ex Google chief of business who focused on AI, who basically just did an hour emergency podcast about saying we screwed up with AI. Like AI it's moving so fast that if the government doesn't get involved soon, it's going to get that bad. What's interesting is I bet you haven't even seen that podcast. It's so cool, not cool at all, that you as a business owner and the experience you've had in all the industries and recessions you've seen. We were just talking off camera of how kind of scared you are about where we're going with this, like how scary the technology is. Just like that former ex-Google business officer. Before this conversation with you, I was kind of looking at AI as something kind of cool. Like if you look at this right here, Amazon acquired Kiva, which was a robotics company last year that automates the process of picking and packing in a warehouse. And with that acquisition, AI and robotics, they were able to reduce their click-to-ship time to 15 minutes, which was a 225% decrease from humans with that. So I was looking at the bull case where, wow, AI can enhance your businesses. Maybe you can put them in one of your firms or your cannabis, or there's ways you can use it. But the more I'm listening, it sounds like it's more scary.
Well, I mean, I've done the sort of round table with a pint with friends, sort of just topics of discussion. Mm-hmm. And I can recall that sort of topic where, hey, if you could be thrown into any point in human history, would you survive? And some combination of my ego and arrogance plus alcohol, and not surprising, saying, I can compete at any time and rise, in society, at any moment in time in history, except for the future. I don't think I query as to whether you can drop me off 10 years from now and I can have any meaningful impact, that AI won't be able to just run so many laps around me that I'm becoming, I'm basically just, human, not waste, but I'm just suckling on society because I have nothing to contribute. That nerves me a little bit. It shakes me. But I'll tell you when I really got into it, because we're talking about, here are the good things. What you just said on the amazing, data, right? And stat, it's so cool. And the medical advances and plugging into, symptoms, they're creating antibiotics, the dangerous construction jobs, going into coal mining, window wash, like things where they're statistically humans are at risk. Mm-hmm. You can be replaced. Exploration into space, into the water, that submersible that just, imploded on its exploration to the Titanic. Just the rescuing was dangerous. Mm-hmm. The search was dangerous. Mm-hmm. And yet AI can, so those are the good. The bad is like, we are all completely replaced. any skill and asset. And I really think in the next few years, we will witness a robot beat some of the best athletes in the world. And I'm saying like years as in just a few years from now. Granted, that's a thesis that I have that isn't founded in anything necessarily.
You're a lawyer.
You're watching the science move so fast. It seems like every week, the new updates on AI are like, look at because it's this learning system. And so, one of my favorite places, I don't like to say favorite, but businesses that I have, it is a very special spot in my heart, is Hubbard Inn. Yeah. And Hubbard Inn, there was a lot of design elements that were inspired by Ernest Hemingway. There's actually this oil painting of Ernest Hemingway and just his literary works and some of the drinks, and it just inspires furniture, texture. And so there's a point to this story. My favorite Ernest Hemingway, and actually a buddy of mine, Dylan, turned me on to this. He's got a short story. It's credited to him. And it's 6 words: for sale, baby shoes, never worn. And that's the story. And it's like, it's popular. So I read another story, mm-hmm. and I just stumbled on this story where they put for sale baby shoes never worn into an AI program, and it said finish the story, because that's sort of why it's famous, is it's just 6 words. So they ask a computer, finish the story, and I read what it finished, and it moved me.
Really?
I mean, this isn't true, by the way. Like the story is true, but Ernest Hemingway, first of all, they believe he wrote it, but it's never been explained. So they basically tell AI, hey, imagine what this could mean. And the story it generates in 2 seconds, by the way, is that it's a story of grief between a husband and wife. The husband got his wife the baby shoes on the announcement of her pregnancy. They have a miscarriage. They have these baby shoes that they're holding on to. They're grieving that the visual of these baby shoes, they're grieving, and they want to, they want closure. They want to stop being reminded. So they put an ad out that says for sale, baby shoes never worn. I mean, it generates like that. Dude. When I read that, I was so moved. I mean, it was really powerful that some computer created this story in 2 seconds. I mean, it's
insane.
It's insane. Yeah. And that's where I'm like, wow, like the creative capacity that it was able to generate so fast. And that story moved me. If a fellow professor or if a member of society had told me, hey, you like that story? Here's what I think it means. I would be so impressed and enthralled.